Hi, it's Hazel. Welcome to my channel, Hazel and Aka Design. I thought I would add a little color to your day and show you how I am continuing to embellish this snippet roll that I intend to use in some boho journals that I'm working on. Now, by the time you see this, you will have seen you will have seen the video, hopefully, about how I I think I called it Snippet Snafu because really, oh, you need to watch it. What you will notice between then and now is I've added these little gold mirror squares. Are they handy so I can show you? I'm not sure where I put them. Anyway, they came on a sheet with a sticky background, but I still added fabric tack just to make sure that they are secured. And then the other thing I started doing last night was adding some of these iridescent little flower, I don't know what would you call it. It's maybe the closest thing to a sequin. It has a little hole in the middle. And then I thought, well, okay, I also have a gazillion beads. Why don't I add a bead to the center? It will add an extra level of interest, and it will also probably help hold it down a little better. Now, I could have glued these little guys on, but I chose instead to sew them on just with a doubled up thread to make it a little more secure. And basically, I just have kind of, half the annoyance of hand sewing is tying off little areas and then making a new knot and then tying off. So what I did was I just chose to run quite a long bit of thread between these flowers. Now, in hindsight, I should have probably put my first one about there, and maybe I will add one in the end. Looks like I have some polishing to do. Anyway, so I thought I would just show you a couple in case you've never done this. I can't say that, I don't know that I've done it before either, but so I have, like I said, a double, just regular sewing thread, doubled, fairly, small needle, because of course the opening on some of these smallest beads is tiny and you want to be able to get through the necessary holes. So I left off over here, and I've kind of been doing like a bit of a zigzaggy or maybe an ECG readout, a little bit up and down. So I'll just, excuse me, come in from the bottom. Put one of these little guys on here. And then and several of these beads will do in terms of color. So I've just kind of randomly been picking something. So let's use this one. Slide that on the thread. And now in order to anchor it, I sort of give myself a little bit of space and I go back down through the same hole. So that effectively secures the bead, but it also sort of turns it on its side, which again is, I guess, neither here nor there, and nobody but the person doing it would ever notice that, probably. But it then means that you don't have a hole facing up, you've got the actual bead. So then I just keep on keeping on. So maybe I'll put my next one over here. Now I have, well, maybe that's a little close to that other thing. I have obviously gazillions of these. Oh, see, this is something like it, except that on the sheet of gold ones, they were butted up to each other. And in fact, somewhere along the way, and of course I don't remember ever buying them, so they must have been in a thrifted package of some sort. They must have been damaged at one point, because there were a few that were, I must have really put them away very securely. You know, half the time I put things away so well that even I can't find them again, or not easily anyway. Okay, I've got my thread coming through. Anyway, I did end up having to almost snap, whoops, I got two there, almost snap them off. And I would use my little pliers here, put a protective piece of paper over it so I wasn't scratching the little gold finish, and obviously discarded the ones that were broken. Again, millions and millions of beads here. Oh, okay, it slid. So there's no need to skimp on doing this, because I've got lots of both those sequiny things, and I'm sure these come in other colors, because I did see, oh, I better not move that. I did see that I've got some in a pinkier tone. Now, in case you're wondering, well, these could easily catch on something, what I decided when I looked at this morning is that depending, well, I guess it doesn't matter if I use it as a side pocket or a belly band, what I will do is use another layer of this. It's not going to really add anything bulk-wise, but just use that to finish things off, so nothing going in and out of the pocket or the belly band would interfere. It's just, you know, a little safeguard thing. Maybe let's... And again, I'm just trying to, like I say, alternate a bit, and also maybe fill some gaps if I feel that it almost looks like there's a gap. Now, I have a number of these sorts of trays, or not trays, but storage boxes. And so you can see that as I do most things, I sorted it by colorways, because, you know, when I'm doing something, it's not like, oh, I need a tiny bead. No, I need something purple, or I need something pink. What the heck is going on here? I guess the thing with using a double thread is you kind of always have to make sure that you've got both of them pulled equally. Otherwise, you end up with a little loop somewhere that you might not. You wouldn't want your work to be loopy, is what I'm saying. Okay, so I don't need to show you many more of these, but I'll just, I will, because, you know, it's an opportunity to chit-chat. I have been, oh, see, big bead, but the hole must not be very good on that one, because I can't get the needle through. As it is, can you imagine, whoa, can you imagine the factory or whatever where these things are made? Oh, that's two that it doesn't go through. Maybe that particular color is just... I was going to say, you know, imagine the quality control in a place like that. There is none. Haha. Oh, I forgot to, after all that, I forgot to put the this thing on first. Well, let's see. How does that look? Maybe I could, you know, I could also do that. Because, you know, in a boho style thing, there's no such thing as too much color, too much glitz. So anyway, I'll finish what I started, which is doubling up on these things. And then I'll probably go back and just do some regular beads. Now, in fact, what I could do there, I could use the, well, would a needle, would this go through? Nope. So maybe, like for these tubular beads, maybe a beading needle is required. Just doing a little experimenting here. That goes on. Oh, am I going to break the thread? No, okay, it came off. So something like this, you know, obviously years and years ago, I took apart a necklace. I don't know, they're maybe not that nice when they're just flat, so I probably wouldn't use those. That might be nice to add. Mind you, they are fairly thick. Maybe that's not the place to use that. These are cool too, but they're also quite thick. Maybe those, okay, there's some tubular ones in here too. Oh yeah, those go on quite nicely. I'll see how I feel. Anyway, what did I do here? See, that's the problem, trying to walk and chew gum at the same time. Oh, I started to say that I have been trying to get my bedding plants out. Still sort of walking around the yard to see, you know, what things might have been winter killed. Because it's been a relatively cool start to this spring, I'm still giving, you know, I don't declare them dead on arrival until I, you know, have given them a real chance to, you know, to poke through. Like the other day, I bought a new hosta because I thought that my, the one I planted last year croaked over the winter. But when we did quite a bit of mulch, trying to get away from all that weeding, or minimize the amount of weeding. And so anyway, I dug down a little bit and found that, oh, there it is. Maybe half an inch tall or so. So now I need to find a new place for that hosta. I was just so disappointed that the scabiosa, which is the pincushion plant that I bought last year, bit of a focal point, I thought, because it blooms so reliably. That seems to be dead as a doornail. So I bought a new one of those yesterday. And pretty snazzy. I can probably do one or so more before I need to rethread the needle. I still need to buy some seed packets. I soaked my peas. You know, that's supposed to help with germination. Oh, again, I forgot it's supposed to help with germination. Anyway, I have to plant those today. And I just have raised beds. The thing I've learned the hard way is that with raised beds, like, I don't know you know, what the Costco near you sells, but here we were able to buy raised beds, which of course is way easier on one's back. However, even though they're fairly deep, root crops like beets and carrots do not do very well in them at all. I hope I have enough thread to tie this off. Would be like me to push my luck. Anyway, so, you know, if you can't plant carrots or beets, it kind of limits your choices. So I'll plant some lettuce. I have, like I said, I will do the peas. Okay, I'm gonna knot this. Maybe I'll just run it under one of those other threads. And for, you know, considering that dill is one of my favorite things in the whole, like, I don't know if anything that, well, I'm being facetious, but there isn't much that can't be improved with the addition of dill, like potato salad, like egg salad. So considering that dill, what I remember as a kid, it was practically like a weed. You know, of course it seeds itself, and before you know it, it's all over the garden. Well, you think I can grow dill? I can't grow it from seed. I can't seem to grow it from, you know, a little potted thing either. Like, what's up with that? So in case you've never seen the quilter's way of making a knot, and, you know, doesn't matter if you've got two threads like this, because I've doubled it, or a single one, you lay your needle parallel to the thread, wrap it around 2 or 3 times, depending how big a knot you need, and then just with your thumb and index finger, slide it all the way down, and you've got a nice knot, and it's close to the end, and voila. It's one of those modern day miracles. Okay, there's my last one. Again, I said I wouldn't keep showing you this, but apparently I am. Yeah, so, you know, I think that obviously people who live in warmer or in, whoops, what did I do here? You know, like from a hardiness perspective, I'm considered zone 2, 3, you know, depending. I guess, you know, it's like anything else. You can sort of create microclimates wherever you are. So obviously if something is more sheltered, you're probably going to have better luck overwintering that. I have 3, or is it 4 hydrangeas. Of course, I can't grow in this part of the world. I can't grow the really showy, you know, those purpley blue ones. The variety I have is called Limelight, and it's the, you know, the lovely whitey pale green one, which is still pretty darn showy. Does this bead not have a hole, or what the heck is going on here? Anyway, so of course that's got a poor hole in it. My goodness. You end up oh, that's a big one. You end up spreading them around a bit so that they're, you know, you've got well, you just spread them around for the color and variety and so on. And I noticed that the one at the corner of the house, which, you know, I guess it stands to reason there would be like prevailing winds would come around the corner of the house and so on, especially after we really decimated our lilac hedge. That one is the slowest to bud out this year, whereas ones that were maybe had more snow cover or weren't subjected to winds and so on, you know, those are further ahead. So I had an old, well, not old, but I mean, I had an established clematis. And, you know, a Jackmani, which is very, I mean, kind of idiot-proof for growing. Hence, I picked it. So last year, I wanted a little more vertical color, so I bought 2 others. I think one is called a Nelly. Anyway, I shouldn't try to remember the name because I can't. And bought it at Canadian Tire, and it was kind of, you know, a little later in the season. Things were a little on sale already, and good grief, you'd think this was the first time holding a needle and thread. End of season, and it was one of those things where there was a warranty, which is kind of nice. Now, of course, in order to collect on it, the thing has to be dead, and you have to bring the corpse in. So I planted 2 different varieties, 2 different spots. Again, one at that same corner of the house. That one has not yet poked through and is probably gonzo. Oh my goodness. What is going on here? Again, some of this is just made more difficult by having double threads. Let me try pulling these one at a time and see if that helps. The other one is way ahead of the established one. So, you know, location, location, location. I have no idea what the heck is going on here. All I want is you to lie flat like a good girl so that I can go on to the next one. And so people at home don't think I'm incompetent. Okay. So you just have to use the word incompetent, and then that. Amen, brother. Okay, let me do one more and then call it quits. I mean, as far as the video goes. So yes, those are, and I have, our yard is really, oh, let's not forget this. You know, it's all bright. So south facing, and I'm smart enough finally after all these years to stop fighting the heat and the sun on that side. So I have Therese Bonnet shrub roses there. Oh, that doesn't go on. So there will be now there a third one I have there. Really old peony, like she's probably 25 years old. What else? So that's south facing. East facing, which is, you know, kind of the side that you would approach the house, you know, from the garage or the driveway, you know, the main So the back door is east facing, and we have a huge patio. So of course there's all that radiant heat from the patio. East facing flower bed. West facing on the side of the old garage, where the daylilies seem to love it there, and that's where one of the that overachiever, that clematis is growing. So just around that corner, sort of that windswept corner that I was talking about in terms of the hosta and the clematis and the hydrangea, is, north facing, but it would still get a bit of west sun, a bit of east sun. And so I'm just sort of laying out the groundwork here, or drawing you a picture, so that you would wonder, why in the world would this woman spend money on shade-loving things like coleus, with all their variegated leaves, when she really doesn't have any shade to speak of. I don't know. A slow learner? Is that my story, and I'm sticking with it? So I think what I'm going to do is, because those are just annuals, put them in a bigger pot, put that pot on the gravel mulch, kind of on the northish side of the house. Let it be a spot of color. Let it be in a pot so that I can move it if it looks like it needs to be moved to save its life. I also got a potted calla lily. Oh, can't get through that. As one of the many floral gifts I got at my birthday soiree in March. Managed to keep that thing alive, but it should be outside. Callas do not survive here over the winter. So, and I Googled them because I noticed that some of the leaves, now I'm thinking, maybe it was getting a little root bound. In the Dr. Google said that it could be, they're considered a tropical, but you can overwater them, you can underwater them, and I'm thinking, oh goody, so which is it? And of course, if I add that, if I put that in a pot with other things, then you hope that the watering requirement is the same, or close, consistent between everything that's in that pot. Because if you have one guy that likes less water and something else, I forgot them, and something else that likes more, you can end up with something being happy and something probably dying. So, okay, I made it to the end with telling you everything I know about planting. Oh, I should also buy, I guess, a couple of cucumber plants. Okay, I'm going to knot this at the back, give you one quick look. Oh, that isn't what I wanted to do. So another good way to tie a nice close knot is if you have something, threads or something that you can run your needle under. And then once you've put your needle through the loop, oh, this probably isn't showing white against white, and then just sort of suck it in nice and close. I'll do that again. Sorry, you probably can't see this, but hopefully what I'm telling you makes a bit of sense. So you run it under something adjacent. Now I'm almost out of thread, so I'm going to put the back end of the needle through that loop. And when you tighten it, it makes a nice, close, neat knot. Okay. So that's sort of what we, not sort of, that is what we have so far. But like I said, it doesn't take long, especially if you're watching a hockey game or something, to sew a few more just plain old, mind you, if I do have a bit of a house of cards going on there too. I also have, whoa. I thought I saw in this jar, yikes, some things are, so I have these, which are iridescent, but they're a little, I don't know. They only have one hole, so anything, if I sewed it there, it could theoretically be dangling. Oh, and I have some of them in green. Got some leaves. But I also thought that I had some, oh, there are also these big disc type. That would be pretty flashy. Then this has a giant hole. So yeah, I'll probably pick a, oh, and here's what I was talking about. There's, oh, huh, see, now I can't pick anything up. Oops. Oh, Lord. Okay, so I've got this, and then I have these that I've been doing. Yeah, I guess there is a difference when you see them side by side. Anyway, that is what I will be doing over the next little while, because I do want to keep on keeping on. But yeah, I might just use some of these because they cover a lot of ground. And are they all pink? This one is silver. And you'll notice that I've mixed silver and gold. This is kind of just iridescent, so that would work too. Yeah, I'll pick a bunch of these out, see if I have, oh, that's white. Anyway, I've been saying goodbye for how long now? Okay, guys, thank you for being here. I very much appreciate your presence. If you haven't already subscribed, and again, I'll just remind you that it's a free, no obligation action on your part to subscribe, like. I mean, commenting obviously takes a bit of effort, but hey, that's how relationships are built. Yes, because I am still clawing, scratching and clawing my way to 1,000 subscribers. And of course, that will trigger the giveaway. So if you can help with that, it would be very much appreciated. See, I don't really care for hearts, but I could use them because I have a number of those in a variety of colors. Anyway, I said I would let you go, and I'm letting you go. So there. See you in the next one, guys. Bye.